Dear members, I think it is time for us to start. The time is now already 6, and I don't see anything more we are waiting for. I will request Mr. Nsereko to please unmute and give us an opening prayer. Thank you.
In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Lord Father, I want to thank you for today. We want you to bless us in whatever that we are going to listen to and learn, that we put it in action. With your guidance and help. We pray this all through the name of Jesus Christ our Lord. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Mr. Kamiza, are you able to communicate? Mr. Kamiza, please unmute.
Hello, Mr. Nsereko. Thank you for the prayer. Are you done?
I'm done.
Oh, thank you so much. Now, members, today we have a very good session, and the topic is already up there. You are seeing it, how we can juggle through our faith, our work, and our family. Today we are delighted to have Madam Emily Mwaka, who is a teacher by profession. She has just been newly appointed and posted as a headmistress of St. Kitto SS Nakibano. She is also the president of the Women Guild in Kampala Archdiocese. And at UNCCLA level, she is the coordinator and representative to the executive of the Kampala Ecclesiastical Province. At this moment, I know she's also a married woman, married to Mr. Mwaka. At some point, she'll add on where she thinks I've not added enough. But we are very happy to have you, Madam, and thank you for preparing. Allow me also to welcome Mr. President, Mr. Javas Ndanabo. Your Excellency, you are so much welcome. At this juncture, allow me to request Madam Emily to take us through. Madam Emily, you are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Salongo Kamiza. I hope everyone can hear me. Good evening.
Yes, you're audible.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Like I've been introduced, this is Mwaka, the president of the Catholic Women's Guild. And I really appreciate UNCCLA for these meetings. These sessions have touched most of us. And I pray that we continue with these sessions, enlightening many of our fellow Catholics about what UNCCLA does and more about our Catholic faith. Today, the topic is where each one of us belongs: family, work, and church service. I have just put this. You may not change, you may want to change, but change starts with you. And it doesn't start until you do. It will only start when you accept that, yes, I can start and change. I have been introduced, and this is the topic for today. It is a very exciting topic. I know very many people would like to contribute, would like to listen, and yes, but I'm going to give all that I'll give from my own point of view as a mother, a married wife, a teacher by profession, and a servant of God. I head the Catholic Women of Kampala Archdiocese, so I serve as a member of the lay leaders. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to use this slide, and I pray that we all follow balancing family, work, and church life. This is an issue relating to everyone today in society, regardless of religious background. When I'll make a lot of reference to my place of work as a teacher. So when I say when you go to the staff room, it's where I work. And the reference is made to where I really work. And I should be able to give examples from my place of work. When you visit the staff room, you'll find people in the Anglican Church serving as in the Mothers Union, Christian Fellowship, pastors. You find Muslims leading somewhere at their mosque. So issues relating to work, family, and church life are not only confined to us as Catholics, but this balancing act can provide blessings, ladies and gentlemen, real blessings, and stress if not managed wisely. I've seen very many people drop out of church service for they're stressed. They are stressed by the people they lead, or stressed by their pastors, or they are stressed. So balancing can provide both blessings and stress. We should manage it wisely. A balanced life is simply richer. If you focus on one area, in the end, it will catch up with you. If you simply focus on church service, then you're going to neglect your office work or your workplace or whatever business you are doing. If you only focus on family, then you're going to neglect the responsibility you took on as a lay leader. So we need to balance. Church service, work, and family responsibility can and should complement each other. You cannot say, I will only do this or I'll do only two, and they must complement each other. But most of all, ladies and gentlemen, success in the family comes when family realizes that they're part of something bigger than their own needs. You must grow your family. Many of us live with our spouses and children, probably with one dependent or one other relative. Unlike where we grew up, I grew up in a polygamous family where we were more than 30 in a home. Today we are confined to a small nucleus family, but balancing work and church and integrating it with family helps the family realize that they are part of something bigger in life and bigger than their own needs. Ladies and gentlemen, how do we keep our priorities straight in a very complex and demanding world? Aristotle, I'm a teacher of literature, so allow me to quote my favorite. An ancient Greek philosopher once said, we ought not to live excess lives in any one area. And you and I know that too much of everything is always bad. So if he says way back in BC, we ought not to live excess lives in any one area, it is important that we take on responsibilities that will allow us get these amazing benefits. When you balance the three, I'll start with the benefits before I tell you how to balance. You grow a larger family. As I speak now, I have a very large family, like you'll see later in the presentation. You grow your faith and work ethics. Many of us have been trained professionally to work as teachers, to work as a doctor, to work as a lawyer, and you much versed with your work ethics at your place of work. But I'm telling you, when you get into church service, you are going to find people from different backgrounds, different caliber, and you are going to adjust accordingly. In the process of your adjusting, you grow your faith, you grow your work ethics, you learn interpersonal skills, and I'm telling you, the benefits are amazing. You learn to deal with people. When you serve the church, you find different people with different ideas from their different backgrounds. Leave alone workplaces which allow us professionalism, where you must do things according to the code of conduct. But in church service, everyone has their own way of seeing things, of doing things, beginning from your parish priest down to the catechist and head of the small Christian community. Things are done differently. You grow a very rich social capital. You get to meet people, and when you meet people and enjoy being with them, working with them, you grow your social capital. Another amazing benefit, improved communication skills and interpersonal skills. You become more confident. Right now, I'm here presenting to the world because I know we have people who have tuned into this meeting from different countries. I am very confident of what I'm doing. And to tell you the truth, well, teaching may have shaped me, but still my service to the church has polished my confidence. You appreciate your faith and your life as you balance the three. You see people that have similar challenges with you, that are better than you, that you can help, and you start looking at life differently. Ladies and gentlemen, you can have your career opportunities widely opened up from this social capital. Recently, like the moderator has mentioned, I was appointed as head teacher. But as we were looking for schools where we can be posted, very many schools were up country, far away from home. But while I was somewhere in some office, someone simply showed up and said, "What is President doing here?" Said, I'm supposed to be posted. Said, no. This is the president of the Catholic Women of Kampala Archdiocese. She must be in and around Kampala. She can't go far. And I got posted to a place of my convenience, not that I didn't deserve it, but because someone was able to identify me from the work I do to promote my work as a head teacher in school. There are so many amazing benefits. You have testimonies from your church service, from your workplace that you can take back to family. But it's not all a cup of tea. Balancing church, family, and work has so many challenges that as I discuss how best we can balance, then probably you could be able to know or forge a way of how these challenges can be overcome. For starters, balancing these responsibilities will demand resources. And among the resources is time and money. You must create time for church work. You must create more time for your professional work. You must create time for your family. And every time you create time, time comes with money. Time is money. You need the money, you need the resources to run these church activities. As a leader, people are looking upon you. And when things get stuck, they'll say, what do we do? They'll always come back to you. You will need to inject in money, and you must sacrifice time. Another challenge is lack of support from your spouse, boss, or your parish priest, or the priests you work with. I'm talking about church service in line with the Catholic Church. If your spouse, ladies and gentlemen, is not in support of what you are doing, you will not work. If at your workplace you do not have the support of your boss, you will not have peace. So it calls for harmony. But how do we get this harmony? Harmonizing these three, it is a great challenge. Then as an individual, your inability to impact, if you set out to do something at your place of work or at church service and you fail to impact, you suffer from a nagging sense of guilt. I really wanted the women to come for the meeting. Out of 76, only 3 have showed up. You go home very, very frustrated, very disappointed. You may share this Zoom link and you want people to come and be part of the meeting. You get so frustrated, only 3 come to the meeting. But here we are, the number is growing. I know by the time we are halfway this presentation, we shall have more than the 30 members that are already here. So sometimes you may have challenges at place of work. You really made a requisition, you wanted this, but you frustrated. So, and even at home, you will find challenges of failure to impact. Dual piety. You know, you're serving 2 masters. You have one at church, you have another at your place of work. Then you have a master at your own home. Who do you give more time? Who is more contented? This is a challenge. At home, your husband will say, okay, I think now you're married to the church. Your wife will say, okay, now that church is what is going to feed us. You go ahead and work with the church. And then we starve. You torn between very many pieces on who to serve best. That is a challenge. Then you have negligence of workmates or even the people you work with. You assign someone duty you delegate, someone should go and represent you. And then the following day you just say, oh, I was not able to go because, and you really get frustrated. At place of work, you know you're supposed to have people do ABCD and they can't do it because you're not around, or because you're around and they take their time. Negligent workers or people you serve with. Some people really, really want to serve the church, but they work from far. They are elected at the parish level, at the Archdiocese level, at the sub-parish level. They really want to serve you, Saba Fumbo, or you want to serve as the head of women, all the Saba Christ. But your parish is in Gayaza and you're working in the oil mines of very far away in Bunyoro. And you can only come home at the end of the month. And when you come home, you're supposed to give a lot of time to your family. Then church calls for duty. You lose it. You don't know what to do. Then there is this sandwich generation syndrome, ladies and gentlemen. Between the ages of 40 and 65, where most of us are in this category, this is the age where you are the parent of teenagers. They keep you on your tiptoes. You have aging parents. They are looking upon you with healthy challenges, with land grabbers. You have a marital crisis. Your marriage is falling apart. You're making ends meet and things don't go right every day. You fear old age. Every time you see in the mirror, you have wrinkles, bald head, sagging bed. These things are emerging without apology, coming every day, every time. You think about retirement, you have unfulfilled dreams. That is another challenge. You don't know how to balance your own life with the workplace, with the church, with the family. You are just a package of challenges. That becomes another challenge. And then there is the temptation. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, share with you that the more you get responsibility, the more the devil wants to dwell in and around you. The devil will frustrate you through people. They will say what you're doing is not what is supposed to be done. You expect people to support you, they don't. Then you have those men and women who are in permanent adolescence who just can't realize they have grown. They are all around you, supposed to work with them, and the challenges, the list is endless. But then Must we get frustrated because there are challenges? But remember, I started with amazing benefits. Don't lose hope. Ladies and gentlemen, how do you balance this amidst all these challenges? Family, be a happy parent with happy children, go to your place of work and you can afford to put a smile on everyone that meets you in the corridor, in the compound, and then serve God with one heart. How? How do we balance? All women here, I know, will agree with me that we need to set personal strategies. Oh, pardon me, I have an audience with men. Pardon me. There are personal strategies. It starts with me. What is it about you that you must do right? Because if you are a full package of problems, you are going to share problems. But if you are the ray of hope, then you are going to give joy and happiness. What should you do? Personal strategy starts with me. Lead a healthy life, eat healthy, and exercise so that every time you don't have ailments emerging at place of work, you're saying, I can't come because my knees are wobbling. At church, I can't come because I was in hospital the whole evening. Well, yes, sickness may come, but live healthy. Lead a healthy life. Think positively. Cultivate relaxation and enjoyment time. You need me time. First, make sure that you can think straight. You as the leader, you as the head teacher, you as the CEO, you as the director, you need me time. Cultivate your own sense of humor. What are things that make you happy? If I shared with you what makes me happy, you laugh your head off. But I have my moments, and when it's my me time, the family knows, yes, it's mommy's me time, and I go uninterrupted. Just to think about who I am and what I do best.
Building water.
Is that a question? Choose your friends and set personal boundaries. Like I said earlier, avoid men and women who are stuck in permanent adolescence. There are people at workplace who never grow. It's them that will see that that man you married didn't deserve him. That woman, it was not your best choice. He could make it the best alternative. They are at place of work. They are in our church service. They are everywhere to disorganize you. Make sure you choose your friends and set personal boundaries. Celebrate your life. I know someone who every time you talk about, when is your birthday? That's wastage of money. I know for you, every time you want to celebrate every little something. People, celebrate your birthday, celebrate your anniversary, celebrate your feast days, spoil yourself. It starts with me. Be fair to yourself and trust your own judgment and value system. Stop blaming yourself for everything. Manage your emotional, social, and spiritual life. All eyes are on you. So once you as the individual is set, then we shall find you a better mother, a better father, a better head teacher, and a better president for the Catholic Women's Guild. It starts with you. Set your personal life in line. After that, go to the family, because wherever you go, east, west, or center, home is best. You'll always come back to your family. Family is the first domestic church. Put your family first by putting them on your daily calendar first. Your wife, your husband, your children. Family first. Clarify your values. They should be able to see you as their hero. As their hero. Create time every day for your family. Every day. It calls for sacrifice, true. But how? You can mean to rise up very early and stay home to help the mom with preparing breakfast, to help the children with polishing their shoes, to help out with a little something so that the children feel that you can impact on the family. Ladies and gentlemen, never, never, like never miss children's birthdays, school events, anniversary because of church work or related commitments. Be exceptional. Why am I insisting on family? The answer is simple. Church and workplace will always replace you, but family can never replace you. A father or a mother will always stay the father of the child, the mother of the child. They'll never replace you. You are what they have, and you are their fallback position. Give them good memories. Let them not curse. I wish my dad does. Every time he was in church, every time he was going to work, I never had a chance to see my dad. Let them have good memories of you. Be an exemplary spiritual leader. Help the children form lasting opinion on love and marriage. Your presence must matter at home. If it doesn't matter, then your absence will never matter. Your presence must matter. You are the only one they have. Be present. So once your personal life is in shape and your family knows it is daddy, it is mommy, we have, and they treasure you, then the rest will just follow suit. As you grow old, look at this picture. It is all over social media. Mother and father are taking the child and taking care of this baby, but in old age, it will be the children taking care of you. You can see the child taking care of the aging parents. What you have cultivated at home, will the children be able to take care of you? Just a rhetoric. Think about it. All right then. All women here played 7 stones. If you are 40 plus, you did play 7 stones. And if you grew up in a family with girls, you played that dodge game with 7 stones. Balancing these stones was not simple. It is the reality of life. I'm sure these games kept on teaching us what life was going to be like. As you dodge the ball, you pick a stone, you put it on pile, it falls off, you run again, you pick another. Balance is not something you can find. It is something you create. Now that you have created your own family in place, your own personal life in place, understand the institution that you serve. What is your marriage life like? Remember, marriage is a vocation to holiness. Is your marriage a happy marriage? Is it on edge? Is it healthy? Is it stable? If you have a stable marriage, then your workplace will be a blessing to you and your church service will be a blessing. But I'm telling you, if it is on edge, you'll be edgy throughout. You'll be frustrated every minute, disillusioned with everybody. You will not serve. You will not work. So, and what are the demands of your workplace? Are you your own boss? Do you have a boss? Do you work long hours? Do you work weekends? If I said earlier, if your boss does not support what you do, you'll get frustrated. And when you come to serve the church, what is church leadership like? Do you know that how the church works? How do you define voluntarism? Many of us may not know that serving the church is voluntary work. How does the church define a lay leader and the roles of a lay leader? People have asked that very many times. How do I benefit from serving the church? If you come to serve the church with the background of benefiting, probably with money or any awards, you'll get very frustrated. Are you knowledgeable about the church guidelines on lay leadership? Are you ready to learn? Or you want to run church leadership like an NGO or like a political party? Or like your workplace as defines your work ethics. Church leadership, get to know the institution you have come to serve. Get to know the boundaries. Get to know the role of a lay leader as a on the pastoral council, on the governance, on whatever, so that when you come to lead, you don't demand much, or your demands are not out of boundary. Now, understand the institution. I'm rushing through this because I can see time. Then integrate the three after you have understood family, church, and work. Love your family, treasure your job, and be passionate about church service. Bring family closer to work with you. Help them see the mission of your work, the mission of church as you serve, and make them serve joyfully in areas they are gifted. If you have a child who can sing, who can drum, go with him to church. If you have a child who can recite a poem at a function at your workplace, let the child feel they are part of your work, that they love serving with you. My sons have always been with me as we go about in the Catholic Women's Guild activities. The women will testify to that. But do not bring them begrudgingly, because it will backfire. So integrate the three and make them appreciate what you do. Effective communication. There are benefits of effective communication. Breeds trust, builds long-lasting relationships, establishes professionalism, higher engagement, etc. Communicate effectively and keep lines of communication open between you and your spouse, you and your children, you and the people you work with at your workplace, then the people you lead as you serve. Let people at home, at work, and at church appreciate your communication skills. Embrace technology for effective communication. And most of all, encourage people to move with the times, so that when you say there is a Zoom meeting, they can embrace it. When you say the communication was put on WhatsApp forum, everyone can access it. Let them embrace technology. Number 6, work smarter, not harder. If you work harder, then you will be busy and not necessarily being productive. Wherever you are, be fully there. If you have gone for visitation of your child, be fully there. Be present physically and mentally. Devote yourself to wherever you are in the moment. Fully present and fully engaged with the people around you. If you have come for a function at church, my parish is celebrating, and you come as a Sabbath Christian, be fully there. Let people enjoy your presence. Let people not every time think, that one will just, you'll frustrate them because every time they have a negative comment to make about your presence. If you're at a workplace, work with all your might. Where I've worked, I may not be blowing my own trumpet, but my students one time asked, Mrs. Mwaka, do you have a life? You are at school every time. 5 a.m., you leave at 10 p.m. Do you have a family? And then when I go to visit my children at school where they are, Mommy, can't you just go? Don't they need you at school? You spend the whole day. Give it your best. When I'm working with the Catholic women, they'll testify. It is present, not coming for this function, halfway you are into another function, then quarter where you seem to be working harder, but productivity zero. Get organized on a day-to-day level, build the breaks into your routine. And ladies and gentlemen, do a weekly review of your set targets and do a self-evaluation. I think self-evaluation really, really works for me, because to error is human. But when you evaluate what you do, delegate. I think I only know one saint who could be in two places at the same time, Saint Padre Pio. And I don't think any of us is just like him today. I don't know, but I am not. So where you can't be in two places, you may want to fulfill this appointment and another. Please delegate. Learn to delegate or divide the work to accomplish priority needs and wants. Train a replacement by delegating authority and responsibility. If you can't take a vacation because you think nobody can do your work, then you are in for disaster. Be more cooperative than dominant. Always know that every job and church responsibility is temporary. Someday you are going to retire or die. And when you do, you'll be replaced. None of us is irreplaceable. So just so you know, best if you train and delegate. Here, it is very important to define the key people in your life. Surround yourself with people who boost your energy. For all these are sacrifices that call for hard work. There are frustrations that will come on the way, but surround yourself with people who boost your energy and make you feel positive, directed, and grounded. Not ego-soothing talkers, gossips, and hypocrites. Avoid negative people in your life. They will not allow you work. Who do you trust? Do you have trust issues? There are people who never trust anybody. But ladies and gentlemen, in my life, I have people that really, really, really matter, like any of us, any of you. And to me, I enjoy these nine-minded people. I love this. It is everywhere where I can access, and I know who I point to be the who, the listener. But most of all, I have the brutally honest friend. I have one who will tell me exactly something I never wanted to hear, but puts me right. You need a brutally honest friend. The practical motivator, the optimism, the accountability partner. You must account for your actions and will call you and say that did not go well. What you must have the 5 W's answered. The empathizer, the challenger, the inspirer, and the encourager when you feel weary and giving up. You need these people. What type of friends do you have? Evaluate your friend. Because if you have people that boost your energy, you'll be able to work at church, at home, and at your workplace with ease. Be flexible and adaptable. It's not every day that things will go as planned. Forgive yourself when things don't get done. Don't kill someone or refuse to delegate because of a mishap. Mistakes make you. You make a mistake at your place of work, don't resign. You make a mistake at church, don't give up. Mistakes make us accept that things will pop up that will require your attention, may result in you having to adjust your daily routine or time. Be flexible and adaptable. Otherwise, if you are not, you get very, very frustrated. Get rid of the time suckers. There are things that we do and waste a lot of our time. What sucks most of your time? Social media, video game, football, gossip, social functions. You could be the one who is ever at burial, who is ever at weddings, introduction ceremonies of a member of a workmate. You don't miss out on these. Just know they could be time suckers. So get rid of them. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, you're not superhuman. Who holds your hand? Who covers your back? Who listens? Who gives you counsel? Who, when you are weary, seek counsel. When you are in need of help, seek counsel. It will help you move on. This morning, I got almost very frustrated. One of my sons calls and says, "Mommy, pocket money is done." I said, "Okay, we shall see what to do." Then I called my husband and said, have we been paid? Said no, because we are both teachers, both head teachers of USC schools, and we have our own frustrating side of life that comes with our workplaces. Both of us have not received the salary for 3 months. I said, what do we do? He said, hang on, we shall see. Then I was coming from school, and yes, the director of studies tells me, dear teacher, I think we have a problem with this curriculum. There is a new curriculum in secondary school, which many of you know. The teachers can't do a project in curriculum, this new curriculum. I said, to date? Yes, they can't. I said, okay, all right, we shall see tomorrow when I come. I'm going to take the teachers through project work. That needs a lot of time. And yes, as driving back, coming home to get ready, then one of my women that I lead calls and says, President, I have this big problem. I need your audience. Now, already I have my own worries. And I must shoulder someone's worries. Who shoulders your worries? Who boosts your energy? But I knew I had this presentation. So I'd pick up pieces here and there and make sure I get ready for this presentation and see what comes thereafter. You need a backup, a fallback position. Ladies and gentlemen, number 12, which is our number last. Walk the talk. If you're urging the people you work with, your family, your church members to be God-fearing, then godliness should be your definition. Integrity, sacrifice, readiness to learn should be part of you. You must be ready to learn something new every day. Recently, like I've just been telling you, I met a group of people who infected me with enthusiasm to work. They are the heads of departments in the Curriculum Development Center. You know, when they change the curriculum, we all had our frustrations. No, things can't happen. We want change. But when we went to train with them, I have never seen Patrick in Uganda. The manager of the curriculum secondary section, wherever he is, I appeal to you to take this message to that team. They make you work with love and passion. We got this new knowledge about the curriculum from very, very knowledgeable and vast people that love what they do with passion. When I became a leader of the Catholic women, I know much about church leadership. But to tell you the truth, I was trained by the best. The Sabbath priest, that head of Laity at the time, and the head of Laity at the national level are my mentors. Ladies and gentlemen, I learned from the best. Whatever I do, my mistakes, I'm accountable to them. But to whatever they have taught me, they have inspired me, they have added value to who I am because they are great men. I've learned a lot. I give you credit. And yes, readiness to learn maybe have been my strength, but having the best teachers is another advantage. Be obedient. You will not serve the church when you are not obedient. Even at your workplace, there are rules and regulations. Be obedient. Resilience and all these values as you see them. But I want to emphasize one. If you're saying you want teamwork, then be the best team player. Be the best team player. I've seen women work as a team in the Catholic Women's Guild. Council leaders that I work with are the most amazing group that one would ever serve with. And love passionately, people. If you're going to work, love with passion. I have a very, very amazing family there. Mr. Mwaka and my sons are the most amazing. It's the best present God has ever given to me. But for serving the church and for working hard, I've been able to grow my family. Otherwise, we'd be confined to the 6 of us. But we now have priests who are part of the family. And for working closer with the church, I appreciate God for it. Another amazing result for working and serving the Lord and working tirelessly. Look at this. These are the Catholic women of Gayaza and the Catholic women of Kampala Archdiocese. We are one great family. I treasure them as my sisters. We have grown in faith and we have true love for whoever believes in love. And we feel for each other and fend for one another. But that doesn't stop there. There is unity in diversity. I've ended up meeting women in the Anglican Church, in the Orthodox Church, that have become part of this amazing family. It's a benefit of serving the Lord.
Okay,
And
summarize.
I'm summarizing. I have met the Unkula family. There they are. He's urging me to summarize. But I thank God for having met my president and the members of the Unkula family, the vice president. They have mentored me so well to serve and work diligently. At my workplace, I have a great family that I believe in each one of them and they believe in me. I give God glory for who they are. I'll stay a proud mom of boys, strong in faith as a Catholic, and proud to be a teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, as for me and my house, we shall always serve the Lord. Today is the day of the archangels. I wish you a happy festive day of the archangels. I pray that Christ appreciates what I do. I'm baptized and sent. May God bless you. Thank you. I submit.
Thank you so much, Madam Mwaka. It has been really great having you. And thank you for every putting these things together. Members, I think as you've heard, from my point of view, there are many take homes. But what is very key, which I've heard from Madam Mwaka, is the spiritual nourishment. Now we have three components, as you've heard. We have the family. This is where we are born. That's where we are nurtured, and that's where we are brought up from. Remember, your family is your backbone and is your background. A bad family brings up bad people, and a good family brings up good people. But good people come from godly families. Was not baptized. And where does baptism happen? Baptism takes place in the church. And that's where we get spiritual nourishment, because there is also that thing, why did God actually create us? He created us for a number of reasons. Many of us here, we know that one. Now, after you are from the church, God actually sanctified work. And even the Bible speaks about it, that whoever will not work should not eat. And that is very key. I want to thank you, Madam Mwaka, for bringing up all these things. And the facts that you have put across, the network. Members of UNCCLA, you need to understand that it's because you are serving in the church that I, Kamiza from the East, now know you, either from the Central, from wherever. And you now also come by mistake, but because we are serving the Lord, that we have met many people in our workplaces. I want to tell you, and when Madam Mwaka, you were presenting, I want to tell you that I was seeing my president. My president is everywhere. I'm talking about Mr. Javas in the Novel. He has been in the East, moving diocese to diocese. He has been in the Central, everywhere there is anything, he's there. He has been in the North, everywhere there is something, he's there. And he has been in the West, everywhere things are happening. But at the same time, his family is not complaining about him. Excuse me, meaning that actually he is playing all those roles very well. And at the same time, I've not heard that the workers at the place where he works, they are actually complaining that he's not there. And therefore, we need to learn a lot from our president. But Madam Mwaka, more so, from the time I knew you and from the time I have known you, you have been a very hardworking person. I just didn't understand how you managed to juggle things, you know? You are teaching this way, you are the president, you are coordinating UNCCLA, but at the same time, you are a very serious administrator at the place of work, and you are serving the Lord. These are things that actually all of us are meant to do. I've liked all the challenges that you have actually able to put together, especially those families that don't pray together. They will never be together. And these are key matters which actually have come out from what Madam Mwaka has been providing. There are many informations on the chat. We want to thank you, those who are appreciating Madam Mwaka. And many of you have put your emails. I believe my person there is picking out those ones. I now would like to request Mr. President to say a word, their input. Mr. to say something about.
Thank you, Mr. Kamiza. Maybe why don't you allow a few questions I was suggesting, or we wanted to do that later? Okay, I take it. Thank Mr. Kamiza. Yes, since he asked me to say something, I want to take this opportunity to thank our presenter, Emily Mwaka. As usual, you are up to the task. Thank you very much for that sharing. I am sure many of us have that challenge. You've given it justice. I personally struggle a bit with that balancing, and I take from your presentation lots of lessons. It's definitely a balancing act, definitely. Everyone must think of how to balance it. But since I was asked to say something, it is just to remind everyone that every 2 weeks, every other Thursday at 6 p.m., we have these talks. UNCCLA listens and speaks. This is the 20th, and we will invite volunteers who would like to speak or moderate these sessions. Please come forward, but also point out to us, people you know will add value to these talks. There are very many out there in the community, but there are also topics you'd like us to cover in this series. And the general aim is for continued formation. We need to keep learning and learning from each other. So thank you very much. I want to get back to you, Mr. Kamiza. I'm sure there are people who have been listening in who would like to make a comment or two, although we are running out of time.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, for those soothing words. You now call upon members in the public or in the gallery. Please, if you have anything, unmute and make your question or comment, or in addition. Thank you very much. Mr. Bruno, you are saying something?
There is Nachimuli Alex, whose hand is
Mr.
up.
Bruno, are you saying something? Okay, okay. Please unmute and go ahead. I think, Madam Emily, you have done justice to this very good presentation. I'm seeing members are really contented and they look calm.
There are two hands up.
Yes, I've requested them to please unmute and make your comment.
Madam Nachimuli Alex, please unmute and make your comment.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Okay, thank you so much for the presentation. By names of Chuan is Innocent. I also have a concern. I would like the facilitator to talk about it and maybe try to digest it a bit. We have got some people who are willing to serve in the church, but again with the hidden motive. I don't know whether you've also sensed we have people who fight for big offices in church. They even reach a level of bribing, but with an intention of being known, aiming at maybe going to a political office, but using this as a ladder. How do you talk about that? Because in so many cases, it has made us have bad leaders in that they come not with the motive of serving the church, but just to use it as a ladder to reach where they are going. And they reach even a level of bringing in manners, which wouldn't be like campaigning underground, bribing and whatever. And really, how can we get rid of such kind of people? Because at the end, we end up having leaders who are not really meant to be for the church. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I would also request the other person whose hand is up also to unmute and make a question. Then Madam Emily will answer them at a go. Thank you. Sims is not coming up. Madam Emily, over to you.
Thank you, moderator. Thank you very much, Mr. Kiwani the Innocent, for that wonderful question. But my answer would simply be that as we come to elect lay leaders, usually we start from the small Christian community. Here in Central, we call it Kabondo. And these are people that come from within the same village. It is very important that you get to analyze and see. I mean, you scrutinize, you as the Catholics that are electing these leaders. There is no way one will pay money to be elected to do voluntary work. If someone simply does that, it is simply obvious that their intentions are different. So voluntarism comes with sacrifice. One wouldn't campaign or even pay money to be elected. I think that is a point in time that we would actually decide not to elect such a person. It is all upon us as Catholics to make decisions because we elect from our own, and these are the people we know. So I think when it's time for elections of leaders, it is important that we have the pastoral office take us through procedures and we see how best we can eliminate such person. Thank you very much. I submit.
Thank you very much, Madam Emily. I hope my brother there has gotten the answers, but also additionally, you know, these are people who are coming from our society, and also there are procedures of recalling such people in case they become a problem to the society. When you elect a leader, you can also recall that leader, depending on how you are measuring that person. But of course, notwithstanding, like Madam Emily has said, we should elect exemplary people. Let us screen these people properly and elect them so that we are sure that they are going to serve us at the end of the day. I want to thank you, Madam Emily, once more for bringing up me as a HR specialist. I look at work-life balance. And it's very perfect that you have to balance the church, you have to balance the family, and you must also balance the workplace. So these are key things. Members, have been your host, Kamiza Robert Salongo. I'm the chairman of Tororo Ecclesiastical Province, and I also serve on UNCCLA representing the Ecclesiastical Province. Together with Madam Emily, we share the same portfolio at our center. Having said that, members, allow me now to request, let me see, Cecilia, if you are there, Teddy, Cecilia, please could you unmute and give us the closing prayer?
Lord Father, we thank you for the gift of life. We thank you for what you've done for us today. We thank you for Madame Emily and whatever she has presented. We ask you, Lord, to bless her and bless her family. We thank you for the coordinator. We pray that whatever she has told us, and it is in line with what we need to do in order to be good leaders in church, we abide by it. In Jesus' name, I've prayed.
Amen. And therefore, by virtue of the authority entrusted in me as the coordinator for today, I call off this meeting. Thank you very much. Have
Thank
a
you,
good
and
time
good night,
and nice evening.
everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
So great.